Well, hello and good evening to everyone, and welcome to the Lockhart Radio Podcast. I am Felicia Lockhart, and I'm really happy to have you with me here this evening. Tonight, we are looking at none other than Julian Assange and a breaking story that some of you may already be familiar with. We're going to get right into it as I find it quite curious, very interesting, as a matter of fact. In tandem with that, we're also going to look at a couple of other things. He is going to be at the in a hmm, I consider it maritime, and I know that a lot of you that are going to be here with me right now, you guys are so wise and intelligent. I want you all to walk with me through an article after that. So let's get into this one, okay? Thank you all for tuning in. That is Julian Assange that you see there. Now, the WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, plans to plead guilty to a conspiracy charge this week as a part of a plea deal with the United States Justice Department that will allow him to go free after spending 5 years in a British prison, according to court documents. Let me give you guys this a little larger. I want you guys to be able to see it a little bigger than this. Oh gosh, it's already at 300. I don't think I can get it any larger. Hopefully, you all can see this. It goes on to say that Assange was charged by criminal information, which typically signifies a plea deal, with conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information. The court documents say a letter from the Justice Department official Matthew McKenzie to the U.S. District Judge Ramona Maglona of the U.S. District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands said that Assange would appear at 9 a.m. local time on this coming Wednesday, which is tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 p.m., to plead guilty, and said that the DOJ expects Assange will return to Australia, his country of citizenship, after the proceedings. U.S. charges against Assange stem from one of the largest publications of classified information in American history, which took place during the first term of Barack Obama's presidency, starting in late 2009, according to the government. Assange conspired with Chelsea Manning, a military intelligence analyst, to disclose tens of thousands of activity reports about the war in Afghanistan and hundreds of thousands of reports about the war in Iraq, hundreds of thousands of State Department cables and assessment briefs of Guantanamo Bay detainees using his WikiLeaks website. Court documents revealing Assange's plea deal were filed on Monday evening in the U.S. District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands, a U.S. territory in the Pacific Ocean. Assange was expected to make an appearance in that court and to be sentenced to a 62-month sentence, with credit for time served in British prison, meaning he would be free to return to Australia where he was born. Assange has been held in the high security Belmarsh prison on the outskirts of London for 5 years and previously spent 7 years in self-exile at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he reportedly fathered 2 children until his asylum was withdrawn and he was forcibly carried out of the embassy and arrested in April of 2019. A superseding indictment was returned against Assange more than 5 years ago in May of 2019, and a second superseding indictment was returned in June of 2020. Assange has been fighting extradition to the United States for more than a decade. In March, the High Court of London gave him permission for a full hearing on his appeal as he sought assurances that he could rely upon the First Amendment at a trial in the United States. In May, 2 judges on the High Court said that he could have a full hearing on whether he would be discriminated against in the United States because he is a foreign national. A hearing on the issue of Assange's free speech rights had been scheduled for July 9th through 10th. Assange's WikiLeaks also published hacked emails of the Democratic National Committee that upended the 2016 presidential race, according to this article. Russian intelligence officers were subsequently indicted in connection with the hacking in 2018 in a case brought by then Special Counsel Robert Mueller. At a joint news conference with then President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin days later, Trump contradicted the indictment and the intelligence community, saying that Putin was, quote, extremely strong and powerful in his denial that Russians interfered with the 2016 election to help him win. Now, we're going to stop the article there, and you guys are more than welcome to look for it down below in the description to read it a little further for yourself. There's something else that I want to read, and I'm going to stop sharing that so that we can go right into maritime law. And those of you who are very familiar with this, I look forward to seeing what you've got to say in the comments, only because I'm not very well versed on this. I know some of it, you know what I mean, the common stuff that we generally know, but I want to know, are there laws on the high seas? So what I did is I just pulled this up on Britannica. And I'm sure that you guys probably know a little bit deeper, but all governments, it states, manage their territories with laws. This is easy enough to understand with respect to solid ground. When you look at a map, borders usually mark where the authority of one country ends and another's begins. But what about maritime countries with either borders or are completely surrounded by sea? Do their laws stop at the shoreline? Well, would that mean that the seas beyond are lawless? The article goes on to say the high seas are not lawless. Well, not completely. According to the international law, a maritime country extends outward some distance from its shoreline. During the 20th century, several attempts to develop an international law of the sea have been made under the aegis of the United Nations. The result of the third and most recent United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which took place in Montego Bay, Jamaica in 1982, were largely successful, with more than 160 countries having signed the agreement by 2017. Several countries, including the United States and others, were significant, with significant ocean-facing and sea-facing coastlines, such as Colombia, Venezuela, and Turkey, had yet to sign the agreement, however. Generally speaking, the law of the sea stipulates that maritime countries essentially control their territory waters from the shore out to a distance of 12 miles. The 12-mile limit within this zone, all laws of that country apply, and the country can build, extract natural resources, and either encourage or forbid sea passage through it, or flights over it, just as if it were a parcel of land. Maritime countries are also entitled to an exclusive economic zone, EEZ, which is made up of water, column, and seabedded out to a distance of about 200 miles. So we're going to stop reading there. So why did I want to read that? Because I want to get you all, I want to get your feedback. I want you to share with me that if first of all, we're reading the article as it's written. So we don't know anything other than what the documents say, right? But you know how I like to ask questions because I don't really know all the answers. If they were able to have taken him there, or are they still taking him there? I mean, what's really going on? Are they taking him or are they not taking him? Because if you see any of the keywords that I just did, I don't know whether they're taking him or not taking him to that court. But if they did, would these regulations that we just read apply? And how far out from the shore would this be? I don't know. I'm just asking questions, and I hope that you guys can give me some answers down below in the comments. I want to tell each and every one of you, thank you for tuning in with us. Let's look at some of your comments. Well, I don't know, JB, if that's going to happen. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at your comments. Oh, wow. Lowrider 1970 and Sandy. Thank you, Sandy. Sarah, it's great to see you as well. Rolf, it's great to see you. I'm going to say hi to everyone that I can, that I see here. Rolf and Sandy and Sarah. Hello, everyone. JB. Rich, hi. How you doing? Okay, you guys, I truly and honestly appreciate each and every one of you, but I want you to let me know what you think. Bethany Ephraim, how are you, baby? I want you guys to let me know what you think down below in the comments. And remember, some of the comments that you make here are not always shown up later because it takes some time for it to populate. Hey, Miss Q, Can you please state his release terms? Oh, you're just tuning in. Well, let's see. Let's see. For those of you who are just tuning in, let me just really quickly add this back because you would have to go back. So it is like a foreign country, Guantanamo Bay is, with quasi USA laws. Okay, Rolf. Rich, thank you. Yeah, I know, Rolf. I know. Well, yeah, I guess I could in case there are others who are going to be coming in right now. So let me go on ahead and just pull that back up for you. And thank you. I'm sorry that you weren't able to be here so soon, but yeah, I understand we did start out pretty quickly. We hit the ground running with this one. So let me just give you the first paragraph. Okay, actually, I think that our second paragraph is going to, first and second paragraph are going to really quantify it really fast. So the WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, plans to plead guilty to a conspiracy charge this week. So do you see what I'm saying when I say, is he going to, or is he not going to be away? It says that he plans to plead guilty to a conspiracy charge this week as a part of a plea deal with the United States Justice Department, allowing him to go free after spending 5 years in a British prison. So I feel like the article is being as clear as it can, but when you start to use critical thinking or critical thought, it sort of leads you down a rabbit hole. So it says, according to court documents, Assange was charged by criminal information, which typically signifies a plea deal with conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information. The court documents say a letter from the Justice Department official, Matthew McKenzie, to the U.S. District Judge Ramona Manglona of the U.S. District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands said that Assange would appear in court at 9 a.m. local time on Wednesday, which is tomorrow night, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, to plead guilty, and said that the DOJ expects Assange will return to Australia, his country of citizenship, after the proceedings. So that means he does have to show up in person if we're just looking at this for what it says. So the reason for me reading what we just got through looking at was to ask the question with regards to maritime law. If this, and if somebody can tell me, if you know anything about this location, how far off from the water is it? And is it literally an island in the middle of the water? And if that's the case, how close is it to its border or its shore? I don't know, you guys. I'm just asking. I can't see them allowing this fella to walk free, but if they do, that's excellent. But I can't see it not as desperately as they sought to get him. And he was concerned, as you see with the article there, that he wanted to make sure that I think it was the First Amendment, was going to protect him. So that's what I'm talking about. How does maritime law fit in this? And is it much ado about nothing that I bring these arguments? It could be, because again, not being knowledgeable on these topics, it was just a thought. That's all. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us today. Do me a favor down below, hit the like button if you like what we're doing here. And if you are subscribed, double check that you're still subscribed. And if you're not, won't you consider subscribing? For those members who've not yet done so, become a member if you are already subscribed to the channel to help support the work that we do here. In tandem with that, it's time for Your Skin So Soft. It's time for it. You know, you got the mosquitoes, you got the bugs. There's a link down below in the description where you can go and just get you some Avon. That's right, good old school Avon. Yes, I'm old school, y'all. Click that link, get yourself some stuff, take care of yourself for the summer. I love each and every one of you guys. Remember to take care of yourselves first, and then after that, you can take care of everybody else around you. I promise they're going to do well if you take care of you first. Here's something from Judge Joe Brown. Now, don't forget, you guys, he's joining us this week with some trustees from Dalton, Illinois, live here on the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. He's going to weigh in with those two trustees that are going to be our guests this week, and he's going to let us know exactly how this could go with them and all the trouble that they're having in light of what just recently came out with the fire department not having their moolah. Yeah, their money, their Skrilla. Where is it? Love you guys. Hey everyone, it's me, Felicia, of the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. I want to tell you a little secret. This is what I used to do, because I don't do it anymore. I would go to the store, buy the barbecue sauce, pour it inside of a bowl, put a whole bunch of different spices, a dash of brown sugar, a dash of maple, and a dash of mustard, stir it all around, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh, this is the best, this is the best. But I was exhausted after all of that, and a lot of times I couldn't remember how many dashes of what I put in it. But I don't have to do that anymore, because now I just go to Judge Joe Brown's website and I order his 3-pack of bottled barbecue sauce. It is by far the best, and I do mean the best barbecue sauce I've ever eaten. And when you go to his website and you order his 3-pack, you'll see exactly what I mean. Head on over to jjbbbbq.com and order Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce. You'll be glad you did, and you're going to tell me about it. I know you will.
Lockhart Perspective.